Yo, what is up guys? Russ here coming at you with another video. Today I'm bringing you an Assassination Rogue 9.0.5 single target / raid guide for the new spec with the new changes. Very exciting stuff. I am now a Venthyr, so I'll be talking about Venthyr, although I will be referencing other covenants and things as well. This is more specific to Venthyr because that is the best single target Assassination Rogue Covenant right now. But I will be going over the talents, I'll be going over the stat prio and things like that, and then I'll go into the rotation with an in-depth kind of section about the opener, what you do and why you do it, so that you can hopefully understand it rather than me just tell you what you got to do. Hopefully I'm going to tell you what you got to do and why, so that you understand the spec more than just be like, okay, me do that, Russ, you know? So I'll talk about the opener in depth, and I'll talk also about like kind of how all of the specs and things about the spec interact with one another. So hopefully you'll go away from this video more knowledgeable and a better player. So before I go into it all, I will just quickly shout out my live stream. I'll put it on the screen for you now. It's twitch.tv/JustRuss. So if you have any questions or anything like that, you can also use the comment section below. Put stuff down there. I read every single comment. I reply to every single comment that can have a reply. So make sure you do put comments down below. Check out the live stream as well. I'm live most days over there. I'll be happy to accommodate any questions, or you can just come hang out with us and stuff like that. We do a lot of fun stuff. Keys with viewers, without viewers, pushing high, pushing low, whatever. You know, we just hang out and shoot the shit, you know? Anyway, thank you for sticking with me this far, and let's get on into the video. So guys, I'm going to quickly run you through the talents right now. I'll start you off with the level 15 row, which is going to be blindside. Basically, our mutilate will have a 20% chance to make our next ambush free and usable outside of stealth. So you will need ambush keybound to something outside of stealth for this to work. The chance is doubled to 40% when the target is below 35% HP. So that does mean that when we're executing bosses, they're getting close to dying, we're going to be getting more blindside procs. Basically, blindside, or you can think of it as ambush does some damage. That's nice. And it basically is 3 combo points, which is giving us 2 combo points with the potential to give us 3 combo points interacting with our Seal Fate passive. Very, very important passive to understand. Might as well go over it now. It's very key for pretty much understanding the whole spec. Anytime that we critically hit with a melee attack or an ability that generates combo points, we will gain additional combo points per critical strike. So that means if we crit with a mutilate, it actually works in 2 ways. You hit your main hand and you hit your offhand. If you have a main hand crit and an offhand non-crit, you'll get 3 combo points instead of the 2 usual 2 non-crits. And if you get 2 crits with the main hand and offhand, you actually get 4 combo points from 1 mutilate. So very, very good. This is also why we will be opening with mutilate from stealth in the opener section of the video. So very, very important to understand how Seal Fate works. Just think of it always, crits give you more combo points, and they work kind of an individual way. It works the same with Fan of Knives as well. If you Fan of Knives and you get 5 crits, you'll essentially gain 10 combo points. If you Fan of Knives and you get 1 Fan of Knife critting, you'll get, you know, like 2 combo points. If you get 2 crits, then you'll get 3 combo points, etc., etc. It works the same with the Necrolord Bone Spike ability as well. So that's Seal Fate. Next row is Master Assassin. It's basically a mini baby version of the legendary, which we get for free as a talent. So same old, except it's only 50% crit chance instead of 100% on legendary, and it's for 3 seconds instead of 4. So basically, this just means that our opener is going to be a bit more potent, and same with our vanishes. And I'll teach you guys how to play around the opener and the vanishes in a second. Level 30, Deeper Stratagem. Same old, we know how this talent works by now. 6 combo points. That means we'll be using our finishers on 5/6 combo points. And more, 5% more damage on our finishing move, which is just, you know, Envenoms do more damage. Cool, we like it. Level 35, Row, Cheat Death. You can't really go wrong with that one. Level 40, Iron Wire, Internal Bleeding, Prayer on the Weak. It really doesn't matter what you take, just take personal preference. You probably will want to take Iron Wire and Mythic Plus though. I will go over that in another video, as I said. At level 45, Alacrity is pretty much staple. There might be coming out some Exsanguinate build in the future, but right now everybody does seem to be playing with Alacrity. And level 50, we'll be running Poison Bomb, which is pretty much just free damage every time we use a finisher. It can come from Rupture and it can come from Envenom. Any finisher that we use has a chance to proc a Poison Bomb, just does a bit of single target damage, which will be amplified by your Shiv, so important to remember that. And yeah, it has a potential to do a little bit of cleave on around the target as well, so that's kind of cool. So to quickly go over the Soulbinds, guys, I'm going to go over the Venthyr ones because they're the best ones for Assassination right now. We're going to be using Nadia, the Mistblade, and basically her first ability is going to be Thrill Seeker. While in combat we gain stacks, kind of Thrill of the Hunt kind of thing, and at 40 stacks we're going to be getting a big haste bonus for 20%. You can track this with weak auras to plan it around your cooldowns and things like that. If you feel like you're close, maybe you want to hold your Vendetta and your Flagellation and whatnot for to line it up with Thrill Seeker as well. But that's basically a passive. We're going to be running with the Lashing Scars Potency Conduit, basically giving our Flagellation just some more damage, which is all cool. But the main thing about it is it's going to lash 4 additional times as soon as we use it. Instead of 1, it will now lash 5 times as soon as we press the button, giving us that immediate haste and burst, and basically meaning that we can stack it up higher because Flagellation works in 2 parts. We're going to be stacking up as many combo point usages during the window, and then we're going to be having that much, however many stacks we got, we're going to be having that much haste for the next section of Flagellation, and haste is our best stat, so very, very nice for us. Same with the Thrill Seeker, haste also giving us haste, best stat, so that's really, really good. So that's basically going to allow us to stack up our Flagellation more every single cast and give us that immediate kind of like initial haste bonus that the Flagellation does grant us. And then we're going to be going down to Agent of Chaos. You can play whichever finesse conduits and endurance conduits that you like. And we're going to be going to the right side with another second finesse conduit and down to Dauntless Duelist, which is basically just giving us 3% more damage on single target. We just mark a target, we do 3% more damage, they do less damage to us. Kind of nice. We also get some tankiness, I guess, from if we're fighting a single target boss or whatever. So nice for fights like Sludgefish, you know, less chance of dying and whatnot. So that's just pretty easy single target stuff. Nadia, the Soulblade. The last thing I wanted to talk about in this section was the stat priority that we're going to be running as Assassination. It's pretty much going to be haste is our best stat, crit next, with a little bit of verse, and then mastery is our worst stat. Obviously sim yourself to make sure. These could change obviously, but in general that's probably what you're going to be ending up with. Make sure that you have 2 daggers, and your offhand doesn't matter too much, but you do really want a high eye level main hand dagger. You're probably also going to want to run 1 Sinful Revelation enchant and 1 Celestial Guidance enchant. So now we got through all of that, I'm going to tell you how to play the damn thing. And basically, I'm going to firstly talk us through the opener, tell you where you do things and why you do them there. And then we're going to watch an opener slowed down, and I'll talk you, kind of like show you what I'm doing. And then I'll talk you into the general rotation and just put the footage in the background. You can watch it, you can start it, you can stop it, you can pause it, you can rewind. And I'm just going to talk over the top of it with the kind of general rules of the rotation. It's kind of a set, simple rotation. It's just about buff management, debuff management, things like that. And it's just like a couple of rules that you have to follow. So I'll talk through those, including Shiv. So let's start with the rotation, or sorry, the opener. Basically, we're going to start in stealth. And we're going to open with a Mutilate. And the reason we open with a Mutilate is a couple reasons. You might think that you should open with an Ambush. That's actually wrong. You open with a Mutilate because previously in the video I talked about Seal Fate. So a Mutilate can grant us more combo points. Not too relevant because of how Cut to the Chase now works with Slice and Dice. It doesn't matter if we have a 3 combo point or a 4 combo point Slice and Dice, because you're only actually going to Slice and Dice in the opener, and you should never have to refresh it. So we're going to open with a Mutilate, and then a Slice and Dice, and then a Mutilate again. Now you might think that you want to garrote here, but you actually want to Mutilate, and the reason for this is because that second Mutilate will go inside your last cast of your first Master Assassin window. Basically, your Mutilate can crit and give you a bunch of combo points, which is going to help you out later on. Your Garrote cannot crit and give you extra combo points. So while you do get the bleed rolling quicker, it's not worth the potential lack of combo points on a double crit Mutilate. So it's Mutilate, Slice and Dice, Mutilate again, Garrote, and then you're going to build combo points until you get 5 or 6 combo points. And you're going to wait for energy for just like a second or two. I use a Vendetta and Flagellation macro, and then I macro them together. You always want to make sure you use your Flagellation right before a finisher, so you can instantly use a finisher and get that 5 or 6 combo points onto the Flagellation, building it up. So immediately after your Flagellation and Vendetta, you are then going to put on your Rupture, and then you're going to start building combo points again up to 5 or 6. Even if you hit 6, it does not matter. You can Shiv at 6 combo points, that is fine. And then you're going to hit 5 or 6 combo points. You're going to Shiv when you have some energy. So you can wait again for a couple seconds. Make sure you do not cap energy. Shiv into Vanish, into Envenom, into Mutilate, into Envenom, which means you'll get 2 Envenoms into your second Master Assassin window, with which are empowered by Shiv, which are going to hit really hard and most likely crit, like very, very likely crit. And the reason that you just going to use one Mutilate between these Envenoms is so that you do get that second Envenom inside your Master Assassin window. Some people might be tempted to, you know, oh, but what if I end up on 4 combo points? Do I still Envenom or do I Mutilate again? Your Envenom will do more damage. It'll probably crit for like 9k or something, even at a 4 combo point, which is much more than a Mutilate is going to do. Plus, you get a Poison Bomb into that Master Assassin window as well. And then from then on, pretty much, if you get a Blindside proc anytime in that rotation, you're just going to replace one of your Mutilates with that Blindside. Make sure that you always Blindside before you Mutilate. Do not want to overwrite your Blindside proc. And that's pretty much the opener. From then on, you're pretty much just going to be refreshing your buffs, keeping Rupture up, keeping Garrote up, and I'll talk about those again in a second. So now I'm just going to talk to you through what I thought was a pretty good opener that I did on a target dummy. Basically, you stealth in. I'm going to open with my first Mutilate, and then straight into a Slice and Dice. I'm going to Mutilate once more inside my Master Assassin window, wait a couple seconds, as soon as I can Garrote, and then I'm going to wait for just a couple seconds for an energy tick or two. Then I'm going to Flagellation with Vendetta, straight into Rupture, which does proc a Poison Bomb. Start building with Mutilate. I get up to 6 combo points. I pop a Shiv, and then I instantly Vanish, Envenom, big 15k crit, into 1 Mutilate, into a second Envenom, which unfortunately doesn't crit. And then you're pretty much into your usual rotation. I got a Blindside proc, into a Mutilate, into another Mutilate, and then I get my last Envenom just into the back end of my Shiv window, which means I got 3 big Envenoms, 2 of which were in my Master Assassin window. Then you pretty much go into your normal rotation. I refresh my Garrote, and then I just start doing the usual stuff. So now I'll just tell you the kind of rules of the spec as this plays out in the background, the rest of this pull, and I'll just talk you through the different kind of things that you want to be looking out for, different kind of things to min-max with. So guys, we're on the home stretch now. I'm just going to talk you through a few general rules of the rotation outside of the opener window. Obviously, it's very, very important to get your opener and your burst windows when your cooldowns come back up correct, as with any DPS spec in the game. That's where you're going to be doing the bulk of your damage. But Assassination is pretty simple, straightforward. It's pretty much buff maintenance, both debuffs and bleeds on your enemy, and your own buffs on yourself. So first and foremost, keep Slice and Dice up 100% of the time. You only have to actually press it on single target, at least in your opener, that one time. And due to Cut to the Chase, the new passive that came inside this recent patch 9.0.5 that we just had, it's going to mean that 3 seconds every single combo point that you spend on Envenom, which is tons of combo points. It is an infinite Slice and Dice. I've never had it drop off once, even with cleaving, even with AoEing and stuff like that. So really, really good. You just have to press Slice and Dice in the opener, and then you're done. In general, you want to build with Mutilate and spend your combo points on Envenom. Meanwhile, you want to be maintaining your 2 bleeds, which are Garrote and Rupture. Try and space out your Envenoms to maintain a higher uptime on the actual buff. So you do want to be tracking this with weak auras, definitely helps. And in general, the only time that you'll probably be dropping your envenom buff realistically is when you're either away from the boss or something for any reason, or you have to refresh your rupture. In general, unless I have to refresh a rupture, I can pretty much keep 100% on envenom. So you might drop it for just a few seconds while you're refreshing your rupture and things like that, and you get it back rolling. Now, regarding Garrote and Rupture, you want to be trying to get them on as much as you can due to the passive you have called Venomous Wounds, which is every single time your bleeds do tick on a target, it's going to give you like a burst of energy. I think it's 8 energy per tick. So passive energy gen, they do damage and they give you energy, which means you can do more damage. So what's not to like there? You want to be aiming for as much uptime as you possibly can with those 2 dots. 97% plus is good to shoot for. So 97% on Garrote and Rupture. Without these buffs on, you will probably energy starve, and then you start falling behind and it's quite hard to catch back up. So do trust me, it is worth to maintain them. I know it just seems like passive bleed dot damage. It doesn't seem like too fun as pressing an envenom or something, but it is necessary, so please do maintain those ones. Now the third rule that I kind of want to talk through is pretty much just do not starve yourself of energy by spamming your abilities too much. With Assassination, it's quite a slow, methodical spec. It's very surgical. You want to be planning ahead and getting it correct. It is fun to spam your abilities as your energy comes in. Obviously, who doesn't like pressing buttons? But sometimes you do have to just think about it. As long as you are not energy capping, you're actually okay. So you just want to be doing all the rules I previously stated, making sure you got your buffs going. And then as long as you don't energy cap, you're actually kind of okay. Use your finishers on 4 to 5 combo points unless you're playing with deeper stratagem, which in this build that I talked about in this guide, you will be, so 5 to 6 for that. So I'll now talk about Shiv, which is probably the place where most of people will mess up this spec. It's got a little bit of nuance to using it. There are a few rules around it. And if you can get Shiv down, it's going to massively increase your overall DPS outside of your burst windows. Basically, you're going to be using Shiv almost on cooldown, and you want to aim for 100% envenom uptime during the Shiv window. So that will mean that going into a Shiv with an envenom already running, and then immediately following the Shiv with an envenom. So this does mean that you want to use Shiv when you're high on combo points and high on energy. So you can use it on max combo points, as I said before. But you want to be using it on 5 or 6 combo points, and then or 4 or 5 or 6 combo points, and then shiving, envenoming straight afterwards, and then trying to fit 2 to 3 envenoms inside of the Shiv window. So that will mean 2 to 3 potential poison bombs, which is also doing nature damage, which is exactly what Shiv is amplifying, and that will be easier with without deeper stratagem to get those 2 to 3 finishes, but it is still possible, as you saw in my opener, to fit 3 envenoms inside of your Shiv window. Try to make sure that you won't have to refresh your rupture inside of your Shiv window, as you want that finisher to be an envenom. You want all of your finishers inside of your Shiv window to be envenoms. So try and look when your Shiv is coming up, and then try and put your you might even need to refresh your rupture a little bit early before the pandemic timer, and then you can put all of your finishers and all of your combo points into envenoms, which is nature damage, which is amplified by Shiv. Refreshing Garrote inside of the Shiv window is fine, however, because that is just a normal generator. So 2 last things, as I said before, use Blindside in place of Mutilate if you do get a proc. It's literally 3 combo points, it does pretty decent damage, but do make sure that you do not Mutilate if you already have a Blindside proc ready, so that you do not overwrite or munch the Blindside proc. It's okay to sit on a proc for a few seconds, as long as you do not mutilate again before you use up that blindside proc. And one last thing is to save your flagellation to use with your vendetta, unless you will gain an extra cast throughout the fight. That is up to you to find out on your timings of where you're killing things. If in doubt, just use it with vendetta, and then maybe look through the logs afterwards and see if you could have potentially gained an extra cast if you use flagellation on cooldown or something. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Kind of got a bit longer than I thought it was going to, but hopefully it was in-depth enough. I didn't go over every single passive and every single ability and every single conduit and blah 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 blah, because I'm assuming that you roughly know how assassination works. If not, then I guess I can refer you to kind of like the baseline guides, but this was more of an advanced kind of look into, you know, hopefully I was visually explaining things okay, and giving you kind of like the why it's this rather than just telling you how to play. A lot of guys, they just tell you how to play. I want you to understand why you play like that, yeah, if that makes sense. So thank you guys for sticking through it with me. It was a lot of work. I did kind of enjoy making this kind of guide. They're a lot of work, but I would be interested in doing some more in the future. So please do let me know what you thought. If you thought it was really useful, please let me know that, or I just probably won't get the motivation to do one again. And yeah, as I said at the start of the video, feel free to leave any comments down below. Feel free to stop by the stream. I'll put it up on the screen for you again now. And yeah, happy assassinating, people. I am having a lot of fun with it. It's nice to have a bit of a change. So yeah, let me know what you think. As I said, like the video if you liked it, please do. Subscribe if you're new here. I got a lot of stuff on the horizon. You know, everything wow, honestly. Some retail, obviously more retail stuff, maybe even some TBC stuff if that's coming anytime soon. And like stream highlights, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, give me ideas of anything you want to see on the channel and I will consider everything. But thank you guys. As I said, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out the Twitch. I'll see you guys on that. And honestly, if you stuck it out to the end, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's like 8 thumbs up to you guys. Okay, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Peace.